Turning to our breaking news, arrests at college campuses across the country during student pro-Palestinian demonstrations. Just moments ago, the University of Florida in Gainesville said it arrested 9 demonstrators. Columbia University began suspending students earlier today after some had defied a deadline to leave. We're joined by Jonathan Greenblatt, the CEO and National Director of the Anti-Defamation League. You've gone to Columbia. You've gone to a lot of campuses across the country. What did you see? What are you hearing?
I mean, the scenes are quite amazing. It's almost kind of sad. So you really have a very small number of protesters. I mean, take Columbia. Columbia has nearly 30,000 students. We're talking about a couple hundred people. At UCLA, I was at UCLA yesterday. They there have, 48,000 students. And again, we're talking about a couple hundred. So less than 1%.
And how many of them are actually students?
A lot of them are not students. So they conceal their faces entirely. So you can't even tell who's an outside agitator and who's an actual student. But it's sad the way that, all the kids deserve to be able to study. All the kids deserve a commencement. All the kids deserve a graduation. And a small minority are disrupting the opportunity for everyone and just violating the rules.
What would you like to see universities doing that they are not currently?
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of bizarre the way the presidents are stumbling, I think, but there's some simple things to do. Number one, they do need to institute law and order, like President Summers said earlier, not with excessive force, but you need to make sure that these students understand they got to play by the rules. So number one, you need to make sure all the students are safe. I've talked to enough Jewish students to know they feel intimidated and menaced, and there haven't been consequences. So that's number two. If you violate the rules, the administration shouldn't make concessions to you, as we saw happen at Columbia and Northwestern. There needs to be consequences. Again, if you violate the rules, you should be suspended like anyone else. And then number three, no full face masking. I mean, again, I just don't think it's appropriate, and it doesn't impinge upon your freedom of speech that you shouldn't dress up like an ISIS fighter, right? Like, there's no rule that says the school needs to tolerate students or, again, outside activists dressing like they're in Al-Qaeda.
We also had an incident where one of the student leaders at Columbia talked openly to administrators about the saying Zionists, shouldn't live, and they didn't do anything about it.
It is hard to understand, again, why they're making concessions rather than consequences. But you're right, kill the Zionists, threatening their other classmates. This is not just dangerous for Jewish students, although it is. It's also dangerous for all of us. This isn't normal. This isn't what college is supposed to be. And we need to finally get the administration to remember a small fringe shouldn't ruin the experience for everyone.